these elephants killing.
Come in, sir.
Yeah, please come, sir.
Good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon, ma'am.
Take a seat.
Thank you, sir.
So, Hardik, please introduce yourself to the board.
Sir, my name is Hardik Kotari and I belong to Vijayawada, Andhra Pradesh. I have done my graduation from Christ University, Bangalore in Bachelor of Arts, and my hobbies are playing chess, watching Telugu movies, and also singing devotional songs, sir.
Singing devotional Telugu songs or normal
Hindi songs, sir.
Hindi song, not Telugu songs?
Not Telugu songs.
Let's hear you sing a song here.
अच्युतं केशवं कृष्णदामोदरं रामनारायणं जानकीवल्लभं कौन कहते हैं भगवान आते नहीं कौन कहते हैं भगवान आते नहीं तुम मीरा के जैसे
Very good. Very good. So, have you been reading the newspapers these days?
Yes, sir.
What's important? What is the most important thing happening in India, according to you, as per the newspapers and as per your information?
So the farmers' protests are currently ongoing.
Okay.
So,
and in the international arena,
the Israel-Hamas conflict, the recent elections in Pakistan.
Recent elections in Pakistan, and why do you think the South Indian farmers have not joined the agitation here? Why only the North Indian farmers from Punjab, parts of Haryana, parts of UP are protesting?
Sir, I don't know the exact reasons why the South Indian farmers are not joining the protest, but one reason would be the unions itself, sir. So the unions, the Kisan unions, are primarily from the North Indian belt. Secondly, in the North Indian belt, sir, the agricultural distress in the recent times is aggravating due to dependence on rice and wheat. And agriculture is not being as remunerative as it is in South India. So I think these might be some generic reasons, sir, but I don't know the specific cause.
Okay, you can read about it. Now, what about the Pakistan elections? Tell me something about it. Now, a destabilized Pakistan is good for us, or a very stable government in Pakistan is good for us? Because if we destabilize, there are no terror incidents happening in India because they are busy with themselves. So, what do you think is better for us?
Sir, I believe that a stable Pakistan is better in India's interest because there would be a good amount of negotiation and political diplomacy which would be possible if there is a stable government in Pakistan, and dialogue and diplomacy would be
There was
easier.
a stable government earlier and we were not talking to them. So what is the point of having a talk with them when they don't want to? When they keep on troubling you all the time. So isn't it better this way? I mean, at least you don't have to bother about them. Apna kaam kar rahe ho, you're focusing on development in our country, you're focusing on relations with other people rather than, keep on thinking all the time about them ke piche jaake maar to nahi dega kahin.
Sir, I believe that a destable Pakistan is not in India's interest, sir. The reason behind that being that there would be the army which would provocate the youth and towards...
The army is always in control there.
Yes, sir.
It's always been.
Yes, sir. But a stable Pakistan would lead to a channel for negotiation at least, sir. In that point of view, I think a stable Pakistan is required.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, sir.
Well, you have a wide range of interests and achievements, so congratulate you on that. Your paper on China on the role of geoeconomics, that we're not really clear. What have you actually discovered? What have you written about? I understand China, I understand geoeconomics, but in the context of South Asia, what are your conclusions, if you may summarize?
Sir, through my research paper, sir, I came up with the finding that China has grown as a geo-economic power over the recent years, primarily due to the Deng Xiaoping's reforms, the 4 modernizations, and that has led to China gaining a economic advantage, and China uses this economic advantage in South Asia. through its policies of String of Pearls and the CPEC project. So in a way, China is trying to gain strategic advantage in South Asia.
So what is this CPEC project? Why do we have objections to CPEC?
Sir, so the CPEC project passes through the Gilgit-Baltistan region, which is part of Pakistan-occupied Kashmir, and this hampers India's sovereignty.
Fine, but let me, since you have so prominently written about this, your achievement here, how much investment has China done in Pakistan as part of the CPEC project?
Sir, I'm not exactly aware of the numbers, but I think it is roughly around $40 billion. But
I think you are on the right track. But the point is, what did you discover? Is it investment in the sense that was any risk with the investment? Investment means risks, right? That when you invest, you may succeed, may not succeed. Or was it soft loans or hard loans? So what did you find out that Chinese financial presence in Pakistan, was it a risk-taking venture or was it a simple loan, something mortgaged in Pakistan?
sir, overall that I found out was that China, unlike the IMF, has no conditionality clause. So it gives loans, it has a checkbook diplomacy when it gives loans to the partners in the region, and when the partners are unable to repay these loans, it acquires a their strategic location. So this is found in the case of Hambantota port of Sri Lanka, and similarly in case of the Pakistan scenario, wherein the Gwadar port is with the Chinese right now, sir. So the kind of loan structure of China is very flexible. It is based on high interest and no conditionalities attached. So the neighbors, partners are generally lured to the investments that they get from China, sir.
Right. And these are loans or investments again? They said 40 billion as investments, right? But they're now 40 billion as loans.
Sir, I think they are loans primarily, sir. And China is a partner in investment in terms of infrastructure projects that it constructs in these countries.
I find you also some background of chess, right? And what is the explanation for the sudden upsurge in the number of people, younger people taking to chess, the number of grandmasters, the very accomplished ones who have beaten Magnus Carlsen and others? So why is it suddenly that you find in the last 10 years or so? Has there been a program by the Chess Federation, or if people have just taken it as their own kind of passion? So what is your understanding?
Sir, here I believe that there are a couple of reasons why there has been a recent upsurge. One being that Indian grandmasters like Vishwanath Anand dominating in the international sphere has motivated multiple players in the domestic circuit to play chess, as it shows a positive sign. Secondly, the COVID-19 scenario has opened in the digital space, wherein people have connected through games of chess during the digital period. So many people have joined chess, and that has also motivated a positive environment. And the very recent thing would be, sir, the International Chess Olympiad that was conducted in Chennai in 2022, wherein international participants came to the country. So this also has motivated multiple youngsters to view chess as a very positive field.
Hardik, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
How are you doing?
I'm doing good, sir.
Right. Please tell me that since the formation of PRC, the center of gravity of power has shifted from Europe to Asia. What all has happened because of this kind of thing?
Sir, I'm unable to understand the exact.
Center of gravity of power now is in Asia. It earlier used to, before PRC. When was PRC formed?
1949, sir.
And what does PRC stand for?
People's Republic of China.
It's neither people nor republic, but it is China, all right. So what all has happened after the center of gravity of power has shifted to this region?
So the China has some ambitious project, come up with some ambitious projects like the Belt and Road Initiative. It has been very assertive through its wolf warrior diplomacy, wherein through the 9-dash line, it is acquiring various strategic locations in the South China Sea, and through string of pearls again, sir, China is trying to encircle the Indian Ocean region, various sea lanes of communication. It has been very aggressive in terms of its...
Okay, agreed. Now, please tell me, the Chinese miracle, so-called Chinese miracle, is on the downslide. There are a lot of fault lines with China, within China, a number of things are happening. China has not fought a war since 1970. So the way it is threatening the world, should India take it seriously?
Certainly, sir. I believe I believe the Chinese model of development through its very aggression and forcing various nations to bend to its own mechanisms should be dealt with a serious consideration.
We, both the nations, China as well as India, we started almost at the same time. Okay, they had a different path, we had a different path. But today, China has 15% of the global trade. India has only 2%. What is the reason? What has gone wrong with India's growth?
Sir, one reason that comes to my mind is the initial period of focus on socialist practices that made India seem like a closed economy. So our focus was on import substitution earlier. So we were not focused at welcoming the world in the initial period, whereas China started the train earlier with its reforms in 1976 itself. And we missed that train and we picked up with our 1991 LPG reforms. So in certain ways, sir, we were lagging behind in our economic reforms. And the second thing would be, sir, the democratic governments that we have in India. It takes time to...
Okay, now you talking about economy. Who coined the word Hindu rate of growth?
Sir, I don't know the person who has coined it, sir.
Mr. Raj Kishan. Now, double engine sarkar, you must have heard. I am sure this word is very common. Double engine sarkar.
Yes, sir.
Please tell me, is it against the basic spirit of democracy? If yes, why? If not, why not?
Sir, I don't believe that it is against the basic spirit of democracy. People get the right to choose the leaders, and a double engine sarkar would refer to the stable similar government in the center as well as the state. And I believe, sir, when people have the mandate to choose their rulers, it is not against the basic...
When you are influencing the voter by telling that if there is the same kind of government which there is in center, then you will be benefited more, is it not going against the spirit of democracy?
Sir, again here, sir, I believe that people have a choice.
But when you influence, when you market yourself like that, and when you try to influence the minds of the voter, so that is not fair.
Sir, that might be a valid consideration, sir, certainly. But I believe, sir, that multiple political parties...
All right, agreed. Now, last question. There is an island called Coco Island. There is a connection between China and India and another country. Which is that country and what has China done in that Coco Island?
Coco Island. Sir, I'm not exactly aware, sir, but can I take a guess?
Please do that.
Sir, is the country Myanmar?
Right, Myanmar. So, what has China done in Coco Island?
Sir, I'm not sure,
It
sir.
has been, they have established some listening posts there
Right, sir.
against India. Okay, thank you, Hardik.
Thank you, sir.
All right, Hardik. What are deepfakes?
Ma'am, deepfakes have emerged recently, ma'am. It means deep learning plus fake news. So it is the use of AI tools to manipulate the content as it and make it in a way that it looks more real.
Okay. So, and how many countries do you think would be going into elections this year?
Ma'am, it's roughly around 64 countries.
Quite a few, no? A very large number of countries is going, right?
Yeah.
Now, there's a lot of talk about AI being used in elections, right? And deepfakes also, the danger of deepfakes. Now, how do you think are people going to be protected from something like this?
Ma'am, I believe that it is a very serious concern, ma'am. And right now, the kind of infrastructure that we have, I don't feel that people would be protected because deepfakes are difficult to track. And when we live in a click generation, wherein messages are forwarded very easily and rapidly, the management of deepfakes appears to be very difficult, ma'am.
No, but then, there can be a start somewhere. Something can be done.
Yes, ma'am. I believe, ma'am, on the solution front, fact check units can be established. Social media intermediaries can be more proactive in identifying fake news and blocking the content.
They can be held accountable?
Yes, ma'am. Social media intermediaries can also be held accountable, which would make them more concerned with the issue at hand.
Do you know what happened once when Twitter, the government tried to rein in Twitter? What happened? There was huge uproar. Anyway, yeah, tell me.
The third thing would be technological upgradation itself, ma'am. We need to ensure algorithms which identify inaccurate data. And the fourth thing would be media literacy. So it goes a long way. People need to be more literate and aware of which content is a fake news or not.
So, media, and media is a big question mark. What kind of media, alternate media, how do you build in accountability there? Media itself should be accountable in the first place, no?
Yes, ma'am.
Never mind, think about it, okay? I just posed a problem before you.
Right.
And there are editorials on it now, okay? So you can read on that. What's Naughty Boy?
Naughty boy.
What about Naughty Boy?
I've read it yesterday itself, ma'am. Give me a second, I'll just recollect it. Ma'am, I'm unable to recollect it, ma'am.
The context of, you might have read it in the context of what?
Oh, ma'am, it is the GSLV rockets which are called the Naughty Boy because they are they're not successful. Most of the GSLV rockets, roughly 5 to 6 missions have failed out of 14, if I'm not wrong.
4, yeah, okay, which is still very high.
Yes.
And what are the alternate to GSLV?
We have the LV-M3 rockets. Alternatives to GSLV. Yes, ma'am. LV-M3.
Is there a PSLV also?
PSLV as well, ma'am.
Now, which is more powerful, a PSLV or a GSLV?
GSLV rocket is more powerful since it can take more heavier payloads and to greater distances as well.
Okay, all right. Now, Jalore, do you go to Rajasthan or you just stay put in, you don't?
We don't go to Jalore.
Don't go, so I won't ask you about it. Okay, thank you.
Hardik, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
So, you track the politics of Andhra Pradesh and Rajasthan both?
Not much of Rajasthan politics, sir, but...
So, can you identify one or two most important polarizing factors when it comes to voting in AP? What's your optional subject?
PSIR, sir. So the first factor that comes to my mind is caste. Caste-based politics is very prevalent in Andhra Pradesh. So that polarizes the elections because the various calculations are done on that basis.
So do you see any observations in the upcoming new fresh voters in terms of voting?
New voters in the sense, sir,
First time voters.
first time voters. Sir, nothing concrete can be drawn here, sir. There are a slew of government schemes that have been working in terms of education and healthcare. So mostly the voters might choose their side according to their own interests and local calculations. But as such, any concrete cannot be said, sir.
Okay, so next one, you are talking about import substitution causing the slowdown of Indian economy at the time of independence. So how is the current self-reliant India or Atmanirbhar Bharat different from import substitution?
Sir, so the Atmanirbhar Bharat focuses on self-reliance. It believes in export promotion and building domestic capabilities. So we become domestically strong and in a way contribute to international growth as well. But in import substitution model, we just focus on not dealing with the world and just focusing on our ability. So there is a stark difference between Atmanirbhar and the earlier model.
So are we weighing in, for example, let's say steel manufacturing, imported steel versus Indian steel. So aren't we somewhere not taking advantage of this comparative advantage or other things in the process of self-reliant India?
So recently there have been a couple of schemes which the government is trying to promote domestic production, like the PLI incentives, through which production of indigenization of production is being the prime focus. So there are a couple of steps in the right direction in the recent times, sir.
Okay. And how do you track this economics graduation? After graduation, are you in touch with this subjects, concepts?
Yes, sir.
Yes? Okay. So money is debt, debt is money. What do you understand by this?
Sir, nothing exact comes to my mind here again, sir. But I believe when you're dealing with money, when you take loans, so it becomes a debt. And, sir, exactly, I'm not aware about it, sir.
So what is this de-dollarization? Or first, what is dollar standard?
What is dollars?
Dollar standard.
In international,
Yes.
dollar is a dominant currency, sir. It is traded by most of the nations. Yes, sir.
Before that, what existed?
For that, we had a gold standard regime, sir. And after that, we had a dollar standard.
Okay. So what is this de-dollarization developments happening?
Sir, now with the weaponization of trade, with US blocking Russian funds in SWIFT, nations are very much aware of the dependence on dollar. So now they are focusing on de-dollarization. De-dollarization would be in regard to looking for alternative currencies. Now nations are becoming proactive in promoting trade in local currencies, in their own currencies itself, and looking for alternative mechanisms.
Did India take any steps towards this in the very recent periods?
Sir, in the recent times, sir, India is focused on internationalization of rupee, through which we are focusing on promoting UPI transactions. And also, the recent oil purchases that we had from Russia were in rupee. We are ensuring a rupee trade with various other friendly nations like the UAE, Qatar, and Nepal, Bhutan, etc. sir.
Okay. Will it be an irritant to the India-US relations? Because it is somewhere propagating the weakening of dollar. So will it be an irritant, or how do we project our interests?
Sir, I believe it will not be a major irritant in relationships because nations work on the principle of strategic autonomy and their own national interests. So they balance their mechanisms. So I don't think it would be a major irritant in relationship.
One last question. OpenAI has come up with one very latest app. What is that?
Sora, sir.
Yeah. So what exactly it is and its applications?
Sir, so Sora has a mechanism where it can convert chat into videos. So this is a path-breaking finding in technology, which would have a large-ranging impact as well, sir.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.